There's our peak, and it's showtime. I don't even know how to start this. I don't even know how to begin this. Hello, everybody. I'm Shiloh, and I'm here to make another video. Nobody asked. Woo! Okay, so, oh man, I don't even know where to start because it's been so long. Here's the thing. I swear to God, I had actually written and recorded a video for episode 2 of season 1 of Vanderpump Rules, and life happened, didn't do it. So never put the video out. And then I tried to go back and revisit that same video months later, and then I thought, wow, I'm not funny. I was like, I don't want to watch it personally. I mean, maybe someone would have enjoyed it, but I think what I really needed to do was just go in and give my spiel, give my opinion. Don't try to be funny, because if people know you're trying to be funny, it's not funny. So I'm just going in, and I have so much to say, because if anyone's following Vanderpump Rules, we all know the tea that's happening right now. We all know about, I mean, we knew at the end of season 9 that Lala and Randall had split up. They're getting a divorce, yada, yada, yada. He was cheating on her. Which I know we can all look at Randall and be like, how is he getting it? But, you know, I've slept with people where I was way more attractive than them because they treated me to a good time, so I guess I get it. I mean, I found them to be attractive, not because of the money, but it sure helped. So I can't fully knock someone for sleeping with someone who isn't attractive and they have money, because I've been there. Not shaming it at all. Say, get your coin, get yourself a good time, enjoy your youth, monetize off of it. Who gives a shit? People are gonna judge you regardless. So enjoy yourself. Some of them are mad because they can't get it. I digress from that. So we all knew at the end of season 9 that that was all happening, but it was like a domino effect, because as soon as that happened, it was just bam, 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 one after the other. And here's the thing, as a viewer, me, I'm watching all these relationships plan out. I mean, Sheena was a shit show from the beginning. And so when she met Brock, even though she was head over heels, he was no Rob, thank God.
Because Rob is taller than him, better looking than him, younger than him, more successful than him.
Because that was cringe, but also hilarious, because we all love easy targets, someone who we can make fun of, not Jax, because he was just dumb.
I'm the number one guy in this group.
Sheena was just cringe in a different way, where still annoying and likable, if that makes sense. But you never related to or never wanted to be like. When she met Brock, you're like, okay, I actually feel like Sheena found the one, and it's not, I think she has a lot more self-awareness now than I think anyone does when they're starting out in reality TV.
Oh my God, oh my God!
So whenever she met Brock, it was perfect. And when they had their kid, I thought, cool. We're moving in that dynamic, that starting a family, because what else am I gonna do now? Pretty much done everything else. And plus, it was after we had lost Jax, Stassi, Kristen, Dana, the other bitch from Tom Tom. I guess we kept Charlie around. She was fine. And who else did we lose? I'm trying to think, who else did we lose? 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 Oh yeah, those 2 dudes. Max and Brett, I guess were their names. So we lost all of them, and that's quite a big crew, but it's okay. Season 9 was a fucking snooze fest.
I had a consultation about revising my nose surgery. I got a nose job.
What if we sold feet pics for Raquel's nose?
Toes for the nose.
Toes for nose!
So I hate, honestly, if they just didn't even record anything for season 9, wouldn't have made a damn of a difference for where we're at now. Really wouldn't have. They could have just skipped filming for 1 year and then came back, picked up where they're at right now for season 10, and we would have been in the same place. We would have had the same amount of information. Nobody gave a shit. I didn't give a shit. So that happened, and I gotta say, as someone who was watching these relationships, like, it was really refreshing to see Tom get away from Kristen and move on to Ariana. However, like Lisa said to Lala at the season 9 reunion,
sometimes the way you get them is the way you lose them.
And I know they messed around. He says they just kissed. I am just speculating, but I feel like there was more than a little nice kiss there at the Golden Nugget.
3 years ago, me and Ariana made out in a swimming pool at the Golden Nugget. Yes,
That did happen.
The Golden Nugget?
Yeah.
That's like an all-time low.
Are you kidding me? I love that place.
And of course, like, Kristen was freaking out. Like, why wouldn't she be upset? I mean, she was obviously unhinged for other things. And I'm not saying the way she reacted the whole time was necessary, but I can understand it to an extent. But man, it made for great TV, so mama loves to see it. I'm supporting that. For TV purposes, please don't do that in your own personal life when the cameras are not rolling, because how am I gonna enjoy it? Why else would you do it? My God. That's just selfish at that point. But it was a refreshing relationship because I believed that in the beginning they were genuinely happy. And also it was funny just to see it get to Kristen and it piss her off and her do all these little things to try and sabotage that relationship, especially since everyone was still working at SUR at the time, so it was even better. Like when she brought Miami Girl to SUR to confront Tom.
We had sex. I'm sorry, we didn't.
We had sex.
No, we did not.
Sex.
No, we did not.
Do I think Tom slept with Miami Girl? Yeah.
We had sex.
I think Tom cheated on Ariana. I think it was more than a couple of occasions that Tom cheated on Ariana. But that's just my opinion.
That's my opinion!
They're not facts. It's just my perception of the situation. Take it or leave it. Dispute it if you want. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit there and debate with you. It's a fun, open, casual catalog. Who cares? Who cares? So I wasn't super surprised to see that relationship actually come to an end, because also, from what I remember, there was some stuff along the way that you could kind of tell it was setting themselves up for failure. Not intentionally, but you could see how that could actually sabotage a relationship. I mean, one of the things was, I think the values that Ariana and Tom held in their lives were so different. Like maybe in the beginning it was like fun, free-flowing, and we're just kind of doing our own thing, but as you get older, those things tend to change, and as life goes on, and the things that... So when you get to a certain point in your life, you realize that you are wanting different things. And honestly, I think Tom, along with a lot of other guys that I have dated too, because for me, I don't want to birth kids. I have no desire to experience that part of womanhood. It just never resonated with me, still doesn't resonate with me, and I'm almost 30, and I'm not changing my mind. I don't want to. I might be open to adopting, but that's like neither here or there. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm not putting my eggs in any basket. Just take them all. I don't want them. And Ariana was very much clear, like she doesn't want kids either. She's been vocal about that. And I remember her mentioning it a couple of times throughout the series that she didn't want kids.
You never envisioned yourself being a mom growing up?
No.
And you still don't?
No.
And I remember Tom mentioning as well, like, oh, like I really want to, like, I think he said, like, reproduce with you, which is a weird thing to say to someone that you're seeing.
Never felt anyone worthy of reproducing with. You know what I mean? Like having a kid with.
No.
Or procreate. I don't know. I think I remember him using one of those terms. It would be like some dude saying, I want to impregnate you. What the fuck? Who talks like that? It's like a term you say when you're, I don't know, when you're treating something as like a petri dish, like a scientific experiment. It's just weird. That's not normal. You sound like an alien or something. So, I don't know. That was one of the things. And also just, Tom is very grandiose, eccentric, outgoing, and loves things done his way. He doesn't like to take accountability, really, because Stassi made a good point, and I think everyone has noticed this about Tom Sandoval at this point, where he goes, I'm sorry, but, and then has an excuse for why he did the thing that he did. Like, he's trying to rationalize it because he's like,
Say I'm sorry for doing that. But like...
well, I wouldn't have done it if you didn't make me do it, essentially. And it's like, no, buddy, you just did it because maybe you just suck as a person. Have you ever thought about that before? And it was just hilarious to see that. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but whenever they were coming up with the cocktail book, it's where Tom Sandoval, Ariana, and Lala are all sitting out for lunch, and they're trying to talk about the cocktail book that Tom and Ariana came up with together. Hey everyone, this is Editing Shiloh again. I have to make another amendment to my video with regards to who came up with the cocktail book idea. It was Ariana's idea originally, so just wanted to make that correction before you guys all came for me in the comments. And he's just not happy that she was the one who basically got the book deal, who was able to kind of land that and get that ball rolling because he felt like he was entitled to it, essentially.
Jax, Katie, Sheena, everybody came up to me and they're like, why is Ariana doing a cocktail book and not
Really?
you? Yes.
I've been bartending 10 years at some of the busiest and most well-known places in the country.
With a reputation as Grumpy Cat.
Somebody's a bitter Betty.
Okay, hold on.
That he thought, oh, well, I'm the one who comes up with like all these crazy eccentric drinks. It's like, just because you come up with these drinks doesn't make them good. So it was definitely stuff like that he was like pouting like a child, a grown child pouting that she got it. And he, instead of him being happy for her, he was like rolling his eyes like, humming and hawing and stuff like that. And so you just think, buddy, chill. And he's like, well, I'm more outgoing. And it's like, what difference does it make? She's the one that got the book deal. If you're so outgoing, then why haven't you landed anything? No, exactly my point. Case in point. He just couldn't be happy for her. I don't think he liked to see her succeed. I felt like she was always supportive of him, but if he ever felt like she was doing something that outshined the things that he had done, he would either find a way to knock her down.
I think we should be having more fun while doing this. Yeah, it's not that good. You know, I would have probably done better.
Or just he couldn't be happy for her because I think it's an insecurity in himself where he thought, oh, I have all these great ideas and it's like grandiose, over the top. Like, why don't people like it? It's like, because not everyone wants that. Some people want Ariana's personality, who's like super chill, low key, and laid back, more down to earth and depressed. You know, we resonate with that more than whatever the fuck you're doing over there. Yeah, I mean, there was that and like him like wanting to have big parties and social events, and I see Ariana as more of a homebody. And also, she's made it very clear too, she like wasn't even having sex a lot with Tom at the end. Not saying sex is the only thing that you need to have a functioning relationship, but it's a part of it. Most relationships, sex is a part of it. And like for me, it's important to me. It's a part where I'm like, this has to be in tandem with other things. But also, I don't want just sex. I want an actual connection. So I totally understand where Ariana's coming from because, you know, she's like, I can't just like take my clothes off and throw down and go woo, because it's one of those things where you need to be able to feel secure in your relationship. You need to feel like if there's a connection there, sex is so much better. I mean, I feel like we can all agree with that. Yeah, she was more saying like, I need a connection with someone if I'm gonna be able to have a sexual relationship with them. And then also she had stuff that was coming up from past relationships where she was not wanting Tom to touch her.
No, I don't want anyone touching my vagina, like pretty much ever.
I'm
Uncomfortable
shocked.
with my vagina.
So how long has that been, though, that it's been like that?
I was in a really like mentally and emotionally abusive relationship where I was told that my vagina was disgusting.
And like, of course, she was seeing a therapist, but it's a process to work through. And I understand, like, for Tom Sandoval, it must have been difficult to have to experience that and like see that shift and not fully understand where it's coming from. Or sometimes people are like, how long is this going to take? Like, it might take forever. And that's a conversation you guys have to have if you want to stay together or separate, take time apart, or open up your relationship. Like, those are conversations you guys gotta have. You can't be doing the infidelity, adultery kind of route. I mean, I guess you can. It's just not the most ideal way to handle a situation, but hey, you know, if you guys have ever been in a long-term relationship, like, you just get comfortable, you get into the motion of things, and then you kind of forget how to, I guess, keep things interesting, exciting, and also make sure that you're checking in with one another. I know it's a hard thing to do. So there was a lot of that happening, like, leading up to it, and there was just a lack of awareness on Tom's part of how much I don't think he realized how much Ariana needed his support, and she wasn't getting it. So, well, didn't he do something one time where I think her dad passed away and he was wanting to go to Vegas with the guys, and she's just sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
He's gonna be here for you. But apparently he told me that we're going to a construction yard and we're taking bulldozers and like crushing with bulldozers.
My dad died and I need you here, my long-term partner, and you are more concerned about going to Vegas? What the f***? Yeah, no, that didn't land well with me. Thought it was funny and fucked up. And it was funny as in, oh my God, I can't believe he's really trying to do this right now, where you laugh because you're in shock. You know, it's funny like that. So yeah, there was that stuff happening. So whenever I found out they broke up, my first initial reaction was, it's about time. I mean, I saw it coming, but yeah. Also, like, I think I was trying to say before, like, I think Tom wanted kids eventually and wanted marriage, and that wasn't something that was important to Ariana. Now, I was really shocked when I found out it was Raquel that he had cheated on Ariana with. I was like, damn. Because, I mean, sure, it sucks, but when I found out this stuff was going to be picked up, like, they had to start recording again for Vanderpump Rules season 10 just to catch this. And I was like, fuck yes, this is what we need. This is exactly what we needed. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Katie and Tom Schwartz divorcing, I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I was kind of surprised they even got married in the first place, but I felt like Tom was just doing it to appease Katie and be like, well, I mean, you know, I guess that's the next step in a relationship. And I'm thinking, not necessarily. You could just be with someone and just be with someone. You don't have to get married. But if that's important to Katie, then Katie needs to be with someone who also values that and finds that important. You can't just stay with someone and think that if you tell them enough times the things that you want and you sit down and have a conversation with them, you can't be passive aggressive about it. But if you sit there and have a conversation with them and you think that they're going to change and they don't change, at that point, you just got to leave. You got to leave. I think what were they together for? Like 12 years or something? It's just wild. It's so wild, but honestly, I wasn't shocked, but at the same time, I thought, fantastic. Loved it. Also, wasn't surprised either whenever Raquel and James broke up as well. And also, I think we can all agree right now that Allie is a rebound for Raquel, especially when James is like,
oh my God, I love her so much. She's obviously the one for me. I wouldn't want anyone else. Fuck Raquel. She was always a fucking bitch.
Even though I'm thinking, buddy, you were saying the same shit about Raquel, like the last 4 seasons, especially when you were using it to rub it in Lala's face and Kristen's face, because remember, Kristen and James briefly dated and she punched James in the face. Again, assault is never okay, but if it happens on camera, I'm gonna watch it. So when those relationships ended, I thought, yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. And I knew they weren't gonna last. Oh my God. Especially Raquel and James. They were having so many fucking issues the whole time. The whole time. And I just thought, I didn't even like Raquel, to be frank with you guys. I didn't give 2 shits about Raquel. Like, my favorite thing that she was ever told was when Lala said, you Bambi-eyed bitch.
Lala, get the out of here.
And I thought it was an applause that Lala deserved for that line, because it was beautiful, it was well constructed, well executed, well spoken, phenomenal, 10 out of 10. It was up there with like a quip, witty comment that Bethany Frankel would say.
You are a hypocrite.
What?
You everyone, and you
really?
pretend that you don't.
So, good job, Lala, on that. But it was stuff like that where you see Raquel trying to form her sentences as she is having a confrontation with someone, which, respect to her for, putting in the effort to try and do that, because I know it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you got cameras there watching you. But man, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, God. You just feel bad for her, You feel like she's a wounded animal, essentially, especially since she's like, Lala, that's not very nice.
I graduated from college, Lala.
Her voice is kind of wavering at the same time, too. There's no real level of confidence every time she speaks. And I don't even know if that would even be fitting in the pageant world. I'm kind of... shocked. Kind of shocked that she made it that far, but very much a Valley Girl vibe, if you will. It's not for me. It's not strong. It reads to me as weak, and I can't stand on my own. But here's where Raquel was playing the reality game well. And I know you guys are gonna be like, no, she's not playing a game, she just sucks. I mean, yeah, what she did sucks, whatever. But this is what it made for great TV. This is why it made for great TV. Because, man, season 10, Raquel really was just making her rounds on every single guy in that, well, I'm not even gonna say single, every taken guy in that group because, I mean, I guess the only exception was Tom Schwartz and Katie because they were technically separated, you know, starting their divorce process, even though they weren't officially divorced. You're not together. You're not together. But you were with that group for so long, it's almost like doing someone dirty when you are seeking a relationship out with them or just some type of intimate connection with another person that you've seen in a relationship with this person that you've been hanging around both of them. It would be different if she didn't really hang around Katie. I'm not saying her and Katie were friends, but if she were hanging around Katie, or no, I'm sorry, if she was just hanging around Schwartz only and then he got separated and she was messing around, wouldn't be that big of a deal. But because she's been around that whole group, seeing Tom Schwartz and Katie together for all those years, that's shady. That's some shady shit. I'm gonna just say it right now. I mean, we can all agree with that. If you try to disagree, I'm right. And you know why I'm right? Because I'm the one making the video. That's why. Hand smelling bleach. But yeah, when she did that, I was like, ooh, she really did it. And then, what was it? I think it was Garcelle's son, right? That she was, whatchamacallit, she made out with at the club. And he was married, and I think his wife filed for divorce after the episode aired or something along those lines. Like, they ended up filing for divorce because I think he was with someone whenever he did that. Okay, everyone, this is my last and final amendment for this damn video. I know I made this video before the episode came out where Garcelle's son Oliver was saying that he was actually separated from his wife, even though he was still kind of seeing her, but still pursuing the divorce. So I made this video before that episode came out. So just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm well aware of that information, but this video was shot before I had that information. So after that, no more amendments. You guys just come for me. I don't care. It's a video. We're having fun, okay? It's okay. It's good, right? It's good. Which, why would you do that if the cameras are rolling? Unless maybe you're looking for a way out. He thinks, oh, fuck it. This is it. This is the way I want it to go. I mean, I guess you can do it however you want. It's your relationship, not mine, but why? I feel like that just causes more problems than helps, but what do I know? I've never been married. And she was doing that. But also the other thing too that I thought was just wild was she went with Garcelle's son. She went with Tom Schwartz. She went to Tom Sandoval. I mean, hell, she even entertained Peter for a minute. I don't know why, because it's Peter. Not shaming Peter or anything, but it's Peter. He's always gonna be the friend. He's always gonna be the groomsman, never the groom. Let's be honest. So, I mean, after that, after I saw those sequence of events and the amount of people that she was making her move upon, I thought, damn, Raquel, okay, that's cunty of you. And I like watching it because you're messy. You're being so messy right now, and whew, I'm loving, I can't wait to see how this plays out because, especially for the reunion, I am so excited for the reunion because, you know, shit is going to hit the fan. It is gonna hit the fan so freaking hard, and I can't wait. And I thought it was hilarious too whenever that story came out about Sheena possibly assaulting Raquel. Again, it's really not cool to do if the cameras aren't rolling because then I can't see it. So that was great, and I'm so interested to see that because I know she had that restraining order on Sheena, and I want to see how that plays out. But this season has been interesting because it's like a slow build to things happening. But again, I think Raquel is more calculated than we are giving her credit for. That is my controversial opinion that I'm gonna say. I think she is more calculated, well aware of what she is doing, unlike her Instagram post where she's saying, I'm going to sit back and reflect on my behaviors and this and that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't therapize it. Like, you know what you did was wrong. Just easy way to fix it. Just don't sleep with other people who are in a relationship. It could be that easy, but you deliberately went out of your way, and it takes two to tango, guys. I'm not blaming Raquel. They all suck for their own reasons. Everyone sucks. Like, I mean, Tom Sandoval is like one of my least favorite people on that show. I can't stand him. I mean, Raquel, obviously, I can't stand her, but I think she's more calculated than we are giving her credit for. I think she knew what she was doing, and she wants to be coy and, oh no, I don't know, I like them. Oh my god, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, I thought it was really cute. He looked at me. Yeah, I believe that Raquel knew wholeheartedly what she was doing, especially when it was someone like Ariana. That was her friend, in a way. Her friend. And they'd been together for so long. And I know that it's super easy because Tom Sandoval already kind of had that relationship started with Raquel, but as in they knew each other. They've been around with each other for years. But I think it was just easy because he had that connection, and when you've already have that that foundation, it makes it a lot easier for it to escalate into something romantic. I'm not saying they planned, let me backtrack. I'm not saying she was like seeking him out as far as like Tom Sandoval. Schwartz, yeah, I think she was. Tom Sandoval, I think that happened a little bit more, that progressed more naturally. But when it happened, she's like, well, I'm not gonna stop. I'm liking him. And then Tom Sandoval is like, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but Ariana and I aren't having sex and we're having issues in our relationship, so I'm gonna keep seeing her, that kind of a thing. And it just kept going from there, and it escalated from there to what it is now when it came out. So I am super excited to see how it plays out, because oh my god, we needed this. I think we all needed this. This is what Vanderpump Rules needed in order to survive, because if it did not, we would have needed like a whole new casting, because I was getting so fucking tired of seeing the same old shit. It was like watching season 13 of Roni. I couldn't even finish it because it was so bad. Like, no wonder they canceled it, because Leo was fucking annoying. Everyone was like putting Ebony in this position where she had to correct everyone for saying microaggressions or things that could be racially insensitive. And then Ramona doing her same annoying antics and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then doing something to piss someone off, and then be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and then doing something to piss someone off. And Luann, not a confrontational person. Ramona's not really confrontational. She just talks herself in circles. Sonia, I don't know. I actually felt bad for her because I felt like she was struggling with something, like addiction with alcohol, and I just felt it was just depressing to watch. I didn't like it. It sucked. What else can I say? And then Dorinda being gone, not having Tinsley, you have 5 women left, and only one of them I found interesting, and that was Ebony. Had Ebony been there with a different group of women, she would have really flourished. I really wholeheartedly believe that. So it was basically season 9 of Vanderpump Rules was turning into that. And I even think, with Stassi and them, like, had they stayed, would it really have been better? I think it would have been a little bit more interesting, but because we had lost people from season 8 and we didn't really get any new ones, everything kind of felt very static. I mean, I felt like season 9 was talking about fucking pickleball. Like, I thought that was the storyline of the season. It was so bad. I didn't know what the hell it was. It was kind of hilarious and then not hilarious, but whatever. It was done. So when season 10 happened, all this drama was coming out, I was like, yes, please, God, give me more. This is exactly what I want. It's exactly what I wanted. And there's just a little bit different people. Well, no, they're all the same. Actually, you know what? There's not really anyone different that's on this show this season. There's Allie, and they brought that other girl. The fuck is her? That's how much I don't care about her. She's a boring character, but they brought her back as Katie's friend because I feel like Katie has such a small circle. Except her and Ariana are really close. But, I mean, Katie's friends were really Kristen and Stassi. So, with them gone, she really doesn't have anyone else to latch onto, and she doesn't have her relationship anymore. So, who is she hanging out with? Let's be honest, who is she hanging out with? Oh, and then, Katie has Lala. My bad. Cool. If anything, Sheena is more of the social butterfly, and she's going to be more inclined to make friends and make amends with people because, Sheena does care what people think about her, which I think we all care to an extent what people think about us, but I think Sheena cares to a higher degree, so she's more inclined to resolve relationships than anyone else. But yeah, no, I will say, for as far as this season goes, I will say good on Raquel. She did have some good moments, like they were saying, oh, you're gonna be a home wrecker whenever she was talking to Charlie because you're messing around with Schwartz or that kind of a thing. And she's like,
there is no home to wreck.
Can I go, yes, well done, Raquel, well done. And then too, at the dinner as well, whenever we found out that Lala had slept with James early on in James and Raquel's relationship, and then Raquel, I understand Raquel's reaction, like she was upset, and I would be upset too. I mean, I would be upset because it was new information. I don't think I'd be like, oh my god, like why did you do that? It would be more of a, that was kind of shitty that you did that. And I feel like Lala just wanted to be like, whatever, it happened, move on, and then tried to be a hypocrite essentially and say that it's not cool what Raquel is doing to Katie right now and wanting to make out with Schwartz and this and that. And at the time, this is before we knew what happened with her and Tom, and so we're like, I mean, Lala, you know what you did was wrong, so just like acknowledge it. But I felt like she didn't want to acknowledge that she was wrong. If anything, she wanted to pull focus back to Raquel Raquel and say, well, you trying to make out with Tom Schwartz is not okay because she's going through a divorce. They're not even legally divorced yet, which, like, if you guys have ever gone through a divorce, I haven't, but I hear it's a fucking process. And it's expensive, especially if you guys have a lot of assets that you need to split up. Though I think Tom Schwartz and Katie signed a prenup anyway, so they're probably going to be able to expedite it a little bit better than other people like, well, Lala and Randall actually they were engaged, they didn't get married, that's right. Because of the pandemic. Because had they had the pandemic, they would have gotten married and would have been bad news bears for that. Oh my god, there's something in my fucking eye. It's my bangs. Yeah, but I thought it was really an interesting choice for the argument, Lala. Not even acknowledging that what she did was wrong. I think she just wanted to focus more on the fact that Raquel was doing something present, whereas her thing was 5 years ago, move on, get over it. Like, yeah, she does need to move on and get over it, but I think she's allowed to say, well, I mean, you did this, so you're kind of not the one who really needs to be preaching morals and ethics as far as meddling with other people's relationships, because you've really been the other woman quite a few times, knowing that other people were together. So let's get ourselves off our high horse and take ourselves down a few notches. So that was the one where I was like, okay, good job, Raquel. But again, it goes back to you're watching that conversation happen and Raquel is just speaking so slowly.
She was shamed for sleeping with a guy who, to your knowledge, was separated.
And I get you want to come correct whenever you're having a conversation, but like when you go from Lala to Raquel and they're both going at each other and Lala is like on the nose with her answers and Raquel is trying to figure out how to formulate a sentence, it feels like it's dragging on and you think, oh my god, is she making a speech? Why is it taking so long to say what you need to say? Just say what you need to say. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. I mean, I've been there before too, where I try to speak slowly because I want to make sure that my words are not misinterpreted, or I don't just like want to speak out of the fly of my mouth. But then other times, I do speak quickly because sometimes I just have shit I need to say and I don't want to sit there and try to do this long, drawn out process of getting the point off my chest. But yeah, no, I am so excited to see how it's gonna play out. You guys can say what you want about this next statement that I'm fixing to make, but I think Raquel this season really saved Vanderpump Rules. It really did. It saved the ratings, it saved the show itself, it saved them from, she might have saved herself from having to be recast, because I don't think she would have stayed around much longer. She would have been at SUR, but she might have turned into like a friend of someone. She wouldn't have been a main cast member. But she's saving this show. She sucks, she did a shitty thing, and I'm not gonna even say just her. Tom Sandoval also did a shitty thing, but they're saving this show. I gotta say that. I really, that is what I wholeheartedly believe. Because I mean, Tom Schwartz, Katie, that was gonna happen. Even like with Ariana and Tom Sandoval breaking up, I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I didn't think it was gonna happen the way that it did, but boy, am I glad it did. And listen, guys, I'm an Ariana stan. I do like her. That episode that's coming out for Vanderpump later this week, whenever we see Raquel and Tom Schwartz kissing, I know Katie is reacting to that, and I'm like, yes, I want to see more. Oh my god, lay in on her, Katie. Lay in on her. Even though it's technically fine, it's not really fine, and so that's why I like it, because Katie doesn't hold back. Katie and Lala don't hold back, and neither does Ariana. Neither does Ariana. When I saw her pop off at James, I go, yes, yes, Ariana, make your fucking comeback. Make your comeback here and now, and you will be so much more successful than Tom. I already know. When I saw that fucking revenge dress that she wore for the reunion, I just was, oh my god. I go, I'd fuck her. Gorgeous. She looked phenomenal. She knocked out of the park. That was like one of my favorite reunion looks for Vanderpump Rules, especially for Ariana. I knew she knew what she was doing, and I have to just say,
good for her.
I'm excited. I just wanted to make this video because I know it had been a while. I think I'm going to revisit these episodes in a fresh way, where like maybe I watch it once and then I'm just kind of talking about it as it's playing and not put so much pressure on myself to make a good video. Just make a video. I mean, as in I will put care into it with using my DSLR camera, using good audio, and doing fun little edits in the process, but it's fun to make. You know what? We'll see where this goes. I can't make any promises, but But thank you everyone who has sent me comments, messages, likes, support, no matter how small it's been. Every time I get a comment, even if it's like months later on my Vanderpump video, it brings me joy. It gets me excited. And it like reinvigorates me where I go, yes, I'm gonna do this again. Right, everybody? I'm gonna wrap it up here just to make it short and sweet because I don't want to do too much. And I got 26 seconds left, so thank you everyone for coming to watch this video, and I have to say this was fun. It was easy to make, and yeah. So stay tuned. What do YouTubers say whenever they're talking to their subscribe? Like, subscribe, comment, share. I don't know, do that shit. My timer's about to run on my camera. Thank you so much for watching this. Goodbye.